New Beer Thursday! Woo! And today we're doing some North Coast. Old Rasputin.
Yummy.
He's an old guy. It's kind of like having Gandalf in your beer glass.
Yeah, only scarier.
Yeah, Rasputin was a little scarier than Gandalf.
Yeah, he was. Gandalf was like, old man, comforting and warm, and you shall not
well,
pass.
He's got that whole, 1800s picture thing going on where it's like, I will eat your children.
It's the eyes.
Yeah.
It's the eyes.
It's so creepy.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Looks like he's saying what up to his homies.
He's like, what up, Holmes?
That's what he's doing.
No, but he's giving you the crazy eye, That's the difference between that picture and Sean Paxton's Twitter picture, is Sean Paxton doesn't have the crazy eye.
So what you're saying is Sean Paxton and Old Rasputin look alike.
Well, he's doing the thing in his Twitter.
Oh.
You never noticed that, did you?
Never noticed that. Oh. No. All right, then, Sean. Kudos to you.
Since day one, I noticed it. It's like, oh, it's the Old Rasputin guy.
Yeah, at first,
Sean's watching this going, that was not what that is.
It kind of scared me.
Yeah, I know, right?
It kind of scared me before I knew him, too. I was like, oh.
Well, he's kind of impressive.
He's an imposing figure.
Yeah. It's like, hi, Sean.
Yeah. And then you
anyway, we're digressing, as usual. So.
Shocking as that is.
But anyway, Old Rasputin, this is one of my favorite beers because this is actually one of the first beers that I drank for an Imperial Russian Stout that I was like, hell to the yes. I love this beer. So let's open them.
Yeah, I see this. This is one of those beers I saw at, what is it, Cost Plus World?
Cost Plus World Market?
Yeah.
And it's always on the shelf when I was new to craft beer.
Right.
I was like, that's one of those weird beers.
That's one of them beers that the hipsters drink.
It's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, well, and this seems to be like one of those transition beers, especially when it comes to quote unquote dark beers. It's like
right.
if you've people are like, well, I like Guinness, but then
this is no Guinness.
You're like, yeah, try this one, boom, in your face.
Yeah,
and
it's like this is a good first Imperial Russian Stout in my opinion.
Definitely.
I mean, if you're into stouts, you're into porters and whatever, and you want to take the next step, this is the next step. So,
definitely.
Cheers. Do we have real glass? Are these real glass? Because it sounds like plastic.
It was kind of a muted
full
clink.
of liquid.
If they're full, yeah.
All right. Oh yeah. Now this is actually one of the more bitter Imperial Russian Stouts.
Yeah,
it's like 75 IBUs. So I mean, you're gonna get a little bit more hop on this than you do in a lot of them. And
but it's
that's first
balanced.
thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it really works with this beer, and it kind of tones down that sickly sweet that I don't like, that I constantly talk about.
Yeah. That's one of the first things I noticed. It's been a long time since I had this, actually. Since I've had this. I can speak English. But that's one of the first things I noticed is how dry it was. It's dry and it actually finishes out pretty clean, too.
We've done a couple of other North Coast beers, and they have a really good selection of high-end beers. Their old stock ale is one of the best old ales you can get.
Yeah, there are a couple of barrel-aged versions of Old Rasputin. They put out one every year.
Yeah. Well, the 12th anniversary,
fantastic.
it's the 12th anniversary, right? Was their barrel?
Yeah, the 12th. Yeah,
Now,
14th is the
yeah,
most
the
current
12th
one.
is the one I have in my cellar, so
Right.
that's what I was kind of associated
Did
with.
they do a 13?
I think they did, but they didn't do a whole lot of it. It was like a Black Butte thing where there just wasn't that much of it, so it was super limited.
Yeah, I have 12 and 14, and 12 was awesm. I bought
12
two
was
when
pretty
I bought
amazing.
it, and I opened one. And it was like, oh man.
I think we need to have one of those for the anniversary party this year. Because they've been aging. Because I have a couple of 12s, so yeah. Look for that at the anniversary party.
The other thing I noticed about this, it's got I think a little higher level of carbonation than
Yeah,
a lot
definitely.
I mean, I get that carbonation, carbon dioxide burn, bubble burn on my tongue, which is kind of
Carbonic acid.
It's weird in the sense of this is a stout, and usually these are more silky, but it's not a negative thing on this. It works.
It lifts it off the palate for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't like Steve said. It doesn't have that sweet settling thing
Lingering
that
effect,
happens on your tongue.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it's over carbonated, but it's just I noticed it's got a tad bit more than I'm used to for an Imperial Russian Stout. What's the alcohol in this?
9%.
9? Wow.
So it's a big beer, and it sneaks up on you. This is one of those beers that you don't
It's
really
called
realize.
Imperial Russian Stout, though. I don't know why
Yeah.
I say wow.
Well, I mean, you said wow because it does not taste like a 9% beer.
No, it doesn't at all.
When you drink it, I mean, this is to me, you mentioned Guinness earlier, and I was like, oh, this is no Guinness. But in reality, it's almost like a more flavorful, slightly bigger Guinness that has a ton more alcohol.
Much more bigger. Much bigger.
Right, but it's like the fusel notes and that kind of stuff that generally turn people off of this style of beer aren't there. So you're right. It is. If someone likes Guinness, this is a good Imperial Russian Stout for them to move into.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting point because a lot of times you find with bigger stouts, they all come from two sources. You either have like dry Irish stouts or milk or sweet stouts. You know what I mean? And like with certain exceptions, you can kind of place bigger and bigger stouts into those two categories, like branching off from there. You know what I mean? Like to me, this is like a really amped up dry stout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's dry, it's higher in carbonation, it's like, it's got that lifting.
I would like to see what this would be like on Nitro.
You can find it on tap, actually.
Yeah, and that's what it's like, because I've never had it on Nitro. I'd like to stack it against the Guinness side by side and kind of like compare and contrast. Because I mean, like I said, it's nowhere near as light and whatever that a Guinness has in flavor.
Beers, but they come from the same DNA.
Right, and so it's like you get some of those same kind of like refreshing, like here's all this flavor, and then it just like says, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Now drink another glass.
Lifts off really
one
quick,
thing, this is definitely like a flavor punch compared to Guinness. I'm not a huge fan of Guinness. I'm not going to hate on Guinness.
I love Guinness.
I mean, it's not a beer I go, I can go for a Guinness tonight. It's really thin, which that's what it's supposed to be. It's a very drinkable.
It's a session beer.
Stout, and
I always like when people are like, "Oh my God, you drink Guinness? Like, how do you not get drunk?" I'm like, "Oh, this has less alcohol than your beer does."
Yeah, it's like, how do you get drunk? It's like 3%.
Yeah, I've plowed through a 6-pack in a couple hours and been like, "What's next?"
Actually, it's really funny because I remember like before I was like into beer at all. Me and my buddies were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get crazy and we'll buy expensive beer today, and we're gonna get drunk and let's buy a case of Guinness." And like we're we're 3/4 of the way through, and we're like, "I don't feel nothing." Do you feel anything? No.
Oh God, we're so tolerant to alcohol these days. I think this is a good time for us to shoot off to Bill's kitchen and see what he has for us today. I imagine it will be tasty because I'm sure I had it in my mouth at some point.
Or mine.
That's what she said.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairing with me, your host, Bill Sysak, and Stephen Johnson.
Hey.
Hey!
I don't know why we're pointing, but whatever.
From New Brew Thursday. Today, I thought, once again, I'd simplify it, find something very easy. Nice cutting job on the melon, Stephen.
Oh, shut up.
Take a little, what kind of melon is this?
It's a honeydew.
Honeydew, perfect. Sweet, perfect. And what
They're very delicious.
We're going to pair a Belgian Wit. Okay. This is the Blanche De Bruxelles, and it's 4.5% Belgian Wit with orange peel and coriander. Thank you. And it's just delicious. And I'm going to pour you a little.
I seem to remember drinking this on a different show.
Yes.
Cheers.
You don't necessarily need that much foam, but it's always great to pour your beer with some foam.
Right.
Because
releases the aroma.
Releases the aroma, and when you taste it, when you taste a Budweiser and it has foam on it, it tastes like stale beer.
Right.
When you taste this, it's full of orange and coriander and all these really cool spices, and it just tastes great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so
I'm going to cut these smaller because I don't want to sit there and just dig in like I did with the corn episode. But so the beer tastes great. Let's see if I'm keeping my A rating.
Sweet, luscious, gooey, delicious.
Brings out a spiciness in this.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would think it'd bring out more of the sweetness, but it totally, yeah, you're right. It brings out a lot of the spiciness. I don't know if this is coriander.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the esters that you smell come out in this, and they go really well with the the melon. And
This would be a great breakfast, by the way.
Oh yeah, I've had this breakfast many times. In Belgium, at Denver at GABF, have a nice bowl of fruit, things like pineapple, fresh berries, fresh melons, grapes, with a Belgian
Nice wit
wit
beer, yeah.
Have even a nice egg omelet, things like that.
Yeah.
All goes great.
We've done omelets with hef on the show.
Yeah, and it will definitely,
And yogurt.
those wits would definitely interchange right into that
Nice.
whole pairing. But
This is delicious. This is a lot better than I expected it to be. Just because melon is another one of those foods that just kind of like watermelon especially. It's just kind of water.
This will work with watermelon,
yeah.
cantaloupe, all those things. And it's so great because it just, you still get that orange and then you get this spiciness that just covers your mid palate. And then it goes into this, and then you get that tartness comes right back.
Yeah, it definitely brings a whole new level to this beer that I didn't expect. So, because I think it even enhances the mouthfeel of the beer a little bit.
And it really makes the melon just sing too. So I think it's a really nice pairing.
Absolutely.
Once again, I like to start taking this to a level where you can try beer with all kinds of things. Look for in the future things like peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Nice.
Gonna do them.
PB&J with the crust cut off?
If you want. Things like that. So it's really easy to pair. Like I said, once again, there's not any food item in the world that I cannot pair with a beer.
Nice.
So that's how versatile it is. So once again, thanks for coming, Stephen. Cheers.
Thank you for having me. As
Thanks
always.
for watching another Master Pairings.
And we're back from Master Pairings. It was awesome.
And you know we're back because it's Steve's usual, and we're back.
And we're back. So
I like it. It's a signature thing.
yeah, you know, it's what I do.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
It's
pick.
like
it.
it's like
I'm gonna. I'm just
it's like-
no. You guys go on. I'm just gonna pick at the sticker
It's
for
like
the rest of the show.
I like
Nope,
it. It's like
picking at the
Greetings,
sticker.
Greetings. It's like it's awful
Picking
but
at
good.
the sticker.
You know?
Greetings,
Picking at the sticker.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you know that one.
I know what you're talking about.
Anyway,
Good old John Paul.
so we're very happy that Beachwood BBQ, and for those of you in the Southern California area know who Beachwood BBQ is. Those of you who do not,
Beachwood BBQ and Brewing.
and Brewing, yes,
Brewing,
there's
yes.
now 2 locations. They're an awesome sponsor of ours, and we are very happy. Gabe's an awesome dude, good friend of ours.
Julian's an awesome dude.
Julian is awesome as well, yes.
Everyone that works there is awesome.
Except that one guy. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, you beat me to it.
No, we love everybody there. But this is not just an orgy fest on Beachwood BBQ. What it is if you've ever heard of Pliny the Younger and you live in the Southern California area, Beachwood BBQ is doing something really unique this year because if you know anything about Pliny the Younger, you know that Pliny the Younger means standing in line for a long time and hoping to get a glass.
It's really horrible. It's an
Yeah.
awful, awful experience.
Yeah, for a lot of bars in the area, it is really, really, truly horrible.
Yeah.
But what Beachwood has decided to do is say, hey, you know what? Let's do a charity raffle. Let's put all the money towards melanoma research for a good friend of Beachwood Barbecues, which is Tony Carboni, who recently passed away from that particular ailment. So
Great name, I must say, though. Tony Carboni.
yeah,
That's a name you remember.
unless it's Tony Carbone, which you know.
Well,
But yeah, however you pronounce it, I'm sorry, I apologize. And
it's fun to say.
I only know him
Carboni.
as Tony, so. But anyway, the point is that during a raffle, if you're in the Southern California area, you want to try Pliny the Younger, go down to one of the Beachwood BBQ locations, buy as many raffle tickets as you want. They're $5 a piece. Like we said, all of it goes back to charity, except for obviously the cost of the beer itself.
They do have to buy the keg of beer.
Right, exactly. So they're going to be serving 130 pints, so there'll be 130 winners. You won't have to stand in line. You can come in anytime after 10 days
That's the
to
cool,
redeem
that's
it.
the cool part about this. We want to
Right.
emphasize this. The whole thing is you're not buying a raffle ticket just to get Pliny. You're buying a raffle ticket to
get
come in
Pliny
and get it
comfortably.
whenever you want.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
like
it's
within the
not-
10-day period because they want to
Yeah.
make sure it's fresh. But it's like you're not going to stand in line. You're not going to have to go in there at 8 in the
you know,
morning.
if people are buying tickets for Pliny. If people are participating in this, they know they need to
Right,
get it ASAP.
exactly. But the funny thing is that it's like the other thing about Pliny the Younger is that you drink Pliny the Younger at 8:30 in the morning or at 9:30 in the morning.
Exactly.
It's not quite as enjoyable at that time.
Right. If you
know?
can come in at like 6:30 on a Saturday and get it with your dinner and
Yeah,
just be like,
exactly.
hey, like I'm going to have my Pliny the Younger
Yeah,
right now
exactly.
with
You're
this
like,
nice meal.
redeem.
Right.
well, especially
that's awesome.
at
It's
a
such a
place-
great, unique way to do it.
Yeah.
Especially at a place like Beachwood, who has awesome food that goes perfect. with plenty.
They would have wonderful IPA food for sure.
Yeah.
So
It's a
this
really-
is our
it's a
big
really
spiel
cool
for
idea,
it.
yeah.
We'll probably mention it briefly for the next couple of shows. We're not going to go into this much detail about it every week, but we did want to bring that to your attention if you haven't seen it on our Facebook or Twitter, because we've been doing both of those.
And you don't have to be from SoCal. Like, if you're gonna
No, if you feel like you're going to be in the area, like, you know, get someone to buy the tickets for you, and then
yeah,
you
just
know,
have to
whatever.
be here to buy the ticket, obviously. 'Cause-
Right, or you have to be able to know somebody to get the ticket
Yeah,
for you.
exactly.
So, but yeah, it's a great way to experience Pine the Younger, in my opinion. So,
And then
especially if you can't go up to Russian River Brewing Company.
Yeah, the alternative is to go to Russian River, because I know you went and
They did it amazingly last year, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to that again, because I'll be up there on the 3rd for that this year as well.
What date are we doing the live streaming?
Oh, that's right. February 20th, we'll be doing a live stream, New Beer Thursday live stream, for the actual raffle drawing. So if you've bought tickets, that's how you'll be able to see if you've won. There'll be other ways if you can't watch
We're doing
the
a
live
live stream at Beachwood BBQ in Seal Beach, which on the day we're doing it, they're not open, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're open that day, so it'll be...
We don't think they're open. They might be, but we're going to be there doing it with Gabe and Lena,
Right.
I would assume.
Yeah, the crew will be there, and then you'll be able to see it there, or after that we'll have it posted on our website. I'm sure Beachwood will have it posted on their website as well. So I mean, it's a great idea. So
Yeah, and
cheers to that, and
Finding
Beachwood.
the Younger is a great beer too.
Yes,
So-
it is. It's well worth the effort, and it's well worth giving something to charity for.
Exactly.
So
Word.
Charity and beer go well together.
They do.
You know?
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Because people like
Get
to-
drunk for charity.
Hey, it makes sense in a weird way.
Yes, it does.
You know.
So, but you know, as we said, we really like this beer a lot. North Coast is a great brewery. They do a lot of great stuff. These are pretty highly accessible beers, at least on the West Coast.
Like I said,
I'm not sure how far inland they go, but
well, yeah, 'cause
Inland, like
they're
into
from.
America.
well, yeah, inland from the West Coast.
They are from California, so
Yeah.
it's readily.
But I mean, it's
readily
at
available here.
Bevmo and those kind of places, so they get pretty wide distribution.
I would assume it's a very, very common beer across the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
grab
check it out.
grab an Old Rasputin and check it out, because it's really tasty.
Delicious. Yeah,
And,
especially if you're not familiar with the style. I guess this is such a great intro Russian Imperial Stout.
Let
so.
it warm up a bit. You know, these were sitting here for about 30 minutes when they
Yeah,
were
these
ice
are
cold.
Yeah, these are great beers for just under cellar temp.
Yeah, and it tastes great. It's an awesome beer. So
Right on.
Definitely.
And like I said, it's a beer geek kind of beer too. It
Yeah.
gets a lot of respect.
It's great. It rides that line between, accessibility and beer geekiness. You can go up to any beer geek and be like, Old Rasputin, and they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's what's cool about it.
Definitely.
And that's something that if you open a brewery, that it's like, oh,
that's something that you want to achieve. Yeah.
We did it.
Exactly.
We have achieved greatness.
we made everyone happy.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
Except for that one guy.
Yeah.
Except for that one guy. Well, you
exactly.
can never make that one guy happy. He's always bitching and moaning about your beards and stuff.
Yeah, seriously, I can
only. And on that note, until
Yep.
next week, stay safe and drink beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See that glass?
That's a better
I was like, oh, what put that on?
Reinheitsgebot!